Hi, Rich here. The Bible teaches that there's a short season of time coming in the near future that will last for 7 years. It's called the Great Tribulation. Jesus taught about it, so did the Apostle Paul. Much of the book of Revelation writes about it, and there are sections from the prophet Daniel that also address this. So today I would like to overview a few main points of the Great Tribulation. There have been some very dark moments in the history of the world, but this 7-year time of trouble will be something worse than the world has ever seen. Jesus says, "There will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive." The prophet Daniel says, "There will be a time of great distress, such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then." In the prophet Daniel, chapter 9, verses 24 to 27, the Lord said that from the time the Jews returned to rebuild their city Jerusalem until the Messiah was crucified, there would be 483 years. There would then remain another 7-year time of trouble before the Messiah returned to set up his kingdom. So this is where we get the 7-year period of time from. No, we are not in the 7-year time of trouble. But we can see that the stage is being set. There's an increase in violence, in wars, in disease and famine, earthquakes around the world. Israel has returned to their land in 1948, and there's a need for someone to come to barter a political, religious, economic peace to our world that's on the brink of global warfare. The 7-year time of trouble begins with the resurrection of the church. Then, a man called the Antichrist will rise to power on the world stage. The Bible says he is empowered by Satan himself. And although the world will continue to increase in turmoil and war, he will be able to negotiate a peace treaty between Israel and the nations. He will also set up an economic system whereby you must have a mark on your forehead or hand in order to buy or sell anything. And once a person does this, they will be giving their allegiance and destiny to him. 3.5 years into the 7 years of trouble, the Antichrist will invade Jerusalem and break the peace treaty. Many Jews will escape to Jordan for safety. At that time, the Antichrist, empowered by Satan, will enter the temple in Jerusalem and set up an idol, expecting that the world will worship him. From that middle point of 3.5 years, the increase in earthquakes, famines, diseases, and war activity intensifies to such a level that a large portion of the world's population will die. Like Jesus said, if those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But those days are cut short by the coming of Jesus Christ. He comes down from heaven in power and glory, defeats the Antichrist, and destroys him and his kingdom, and sets up his kingdom on earth. Remember, these 7 years of trouble will be followed by 1,000 years of the world's greatest peace. Jesus promised us that he would return at any moment, call us to meet him in the clouds, give us a new resurrection body, and save us from these troubles coming upon the whole world. Be blessed.